Pilipinas.
A pleasant good morning to everyone. It's the day after Christmas. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Good morning. I hope everyone woke up feeling good.
Oh yes,
Not
I felt
hungover.
good. I hope everybody else is feeling good din. Ako alam mo masaya kasi walang firecrackers kaya nakatulog kami ng maayos. Walang
You know,
paputok.
Oh, yeah.
Nice and quiet.
There's a lot of positive things taking place.
Oh, really?
You know, sa ating setting right now, di ba, the whole world may concern tungkol sa pandemya, di ba?
Especially with the new virus.
With the new
new
variant,
strain.
new strain.
Oo.
No? But yet, a day like yesterday was a day like, kumbaga, if you spent yesterday being with family and actually praying, taking the time to be introspective, this is prosperity of the heart.
Oh,
It leads to that.
Sarap-sarap ng
Yeah,
feeling.
you know, the family get together can go deeper.
Yes.
Can be
The
more
proper way to celebrate.
right, to remember the birth of Jesus. And not only his birth or his death that we always kind of remember, but we should introspect in the way he lived his life and the impact he had in so many people's lives in this world for the past 2,000 years. Those who
220.
actually captured the very essence of his birth, you know, would very much live, you know, that treasure in their own hearts. So,
Actually, mas simple. But that
Yeah.
simplicity was very rich. Kumbaga sabihin natin, we find more simplicity, peacefulness, in really just thinking what is Christmas all about. Hindi ba?
Yeah,
Kaya,
I received a little poster that said, the first Christmas was very simple. So if you had a simple Christmas celebration, that's also okay.
yeah, very
it
nice.
doesn't have to be so festive. And there are times, when the going is okay, but we should again always look at life in a simplistic way. We should have that on our own as individuals. We should not lose track of, how we ourselves, just as Jesus was born in a manger, we may have been born in the hospital or wherever you were born, but did you bring anything with you as soon as you came out?
Wala.
Did you have
Birthday
gold?
suit.
Do you have the richness with you? Or were you just, crying and being miserable, having to come out of that experience? You know what I'm saying? Ganun yan eh. You look at if you look at life itself and actually introspect on what we have been through in life, from the very start, if you've read about or have witnessed, even in your own family, witnessed childbirth, for example, hindi ba?
Oh, it's something else.
It's something else. And the toys doesn't come out with a baby.
Oo nga. Walang bagaheng dala.
Walang bagahin
Oo.
na. Wala even clothing, wala eh.
Oo.
Except your skin. That's about it.
Yes.
And you come into the world with a bag of things that you are not expecting.
Oo.
Diba? Sometimes children are born with deformities. Diba? Or they are born in a setting that is,
Maybe in wartime, yeah.
yes, or
Or may bagyo.
Dami. So yet, the struggle,
Like
right?
now, may pandemya.
Pero the mother, the parents are still very happy,
Yes.
hindi ba?
Welcoming a
In
child.
whatever situation nag-appear yung baby, masayang masaya. Uy, umaga pa lang, marami na tayong kasama sa show. Okay,
Alright.
Yeah, oo nga, ang dami.
Oh,
Si Kalindi, always there.
Si Gordon.
ever loyal Kalindi,
Yogi.
Rilova. Yeah?
Yoga.
Tsaka si DJ Gore is always joining us.
Yes.
No? And then we have Nitz Lopez Capin, Yogi Padilla, and
Madana
GNR,
Mohana.
plant-based options. And Madana Mohana, yes.
Cynthia of Merga. Oh, she's from Lukban.
Yes,
Nice to
Matt
meet you this
Resurrection
morning.
din, and Ivy Villamor. Oh, ang dami ngayon na. Ruben Lunto.
And Brinda
Okay.
from
Brinda
Villamor.
So anyway.
Villamor.
Oh, I thought she was
So-
from Villamor. That's her family name.
Yes.
Again, for everybody.
And
di ba?
Myra. Hello, Myra Muriel.
At least we all know they woke up
To join
to
us.
join us.
Oh,
So we know
yes.
very much that
Well,
the way
wake
they
up with
spent,
no headache.
they spent their Christmas, you know?
Well.
This morning I was talking to one of our people that come around and help us
Farmers.
at the farm, you know? And he was saying that, there was only him and another person who reported to work this morning. And normally, sinasabi ko, before the Christmas day, I never would want to give money as a gift. Simply because I know where it will end up. So I just gave out palay. And I know that it's something that, is very important, and I know the whole family will benefit.
Oh yes, makaabot sa mga anak,
Right.
sa misis.
And I always make sure, sometimes when I give, if it's a cash gift, I give it to the wife. To make sure.
Yung treasurer.
aabot sa
Si
bata.
si misis may hawak ng
So
kayamanan.
it goes to the needs, di ba?
Yes.
And now we were not able to prepare gifts for them, gifts of food. So sabi ko, sige,
Actually gave them a huge tray of food, right?
yeah,
for their
yesterday
party.
we cooked something for
Spaghetti.
but we always, in times like yesterday, you always want to end up waking up the next day feeling different. That there's real change that occurred in
Feeling
my heart.
refreshed.
That freshness, di ba? Refresh,
Oo.
but it's coming from our hearts, not
Yes.
having a horrible headache, or your belly is aching, or your kidney is complaining because you have whatever you have
Or
been
yung
doing.
blood
Too much.
pressure, tumaas na ng tumaas. Yung diabetic, ay tumaas na rin ng blood sugar levels.
So it's important that we be introspective. We still have another week of introspection before a new year begins.
Yes, this
Now,
new year
questions
is
that we
coming.
normally have is to ourselves are the things we hoped for last year before the year started. The things that we have okay, ito ang mga gagawin ko, ito yung ibabaguhin ko sa aking buhay. Di ba?
Naku.
Ang daming ganun
Medyo, that was a very challenging year.
Okay, but whether or not were you successful in it, and what was the basis of what you were pursuing, di ba? What was your goal, di ba?
Ayun,
Is it to make life better for yourself and your family, or is it making life better for everybody?
Yes.
You know?
Bago tayo magpatuloy, before we continue, I would like to share a question with our listeners this morning. Because our topic right now is real prosperity. So, you can comment, share us, ano yung naiisip niyong talagang kayamanan na meron kayo, and that, that you treasure. Okay? Na pwede rin nating i-share sa ibang tao yung mga kayamanan.
Kasi
Okay.
every new year, we always
Yes.
greet each other. Yeah, have a happy,
Prosperous
prosperous
New Year,
Oh,
yes.
And prosperity usually has to do with wealth, with money.
Yes.
But there are other things also that make us prosperous. So we'd like to hear from you
Yes.
what your
Okay.
ideas are. Yeah.
So, si Marissa meron nang isi-share sa atin about prosperity.
Yeah. So as I've mentioned, usually when we talk about prosperity, we talk about wealth. Yeah. And we are naturally wanting to have this wealth because money helps us get the things we think will make us happy. Now, it's okay. Yeah. So, but we need to understand from the correct perspective about wealth. Sometimes we think wealth actually belongs to us. Yeah, but as Tito Toby mentioned earlier, when we're born in this world, we don't have anything with us. Yeah, we come in empty-handed, and guess what? That's how we're going to leave this world also.
Wala rin
Oh,
dala-dala.
wala rin tayong dala, no? So, we should know that wealth is something that comes to us, but it's not something we can really own or hold on to forever. Wealth is very transitory, just like our stay here in this world. Yeah?
Yes.
May kasabihan nga, ang wealth, either it will leave you or you will leave it at some point. But for sure, maghihiwalay kayo. Yeah, you will be parted from this wealth. So, it's best to understand that wealth or prosperity is not really ours. Yeah, to own and possess or keep. It's really something that will come and go. So, let's not get too attached to it. Sometimes when we have prosperity, kasi may pera tayo, syempre, we have power to buy. We have also a great influence because of this wealth. And we receive so much adulation. Yung parang hanga sa'yo ang tao, biglang malapit sila sa'yo, no? Because you have the money. Let's not get silaw by that, no? Let's not get too attached to that because it's not always going to be there. Actually, I have a friend, no, who, she was from a very rich family. And well, later we became related, no? And we ran across this poem that she really liked very much. It said, I have no use for friends who feast upon the things I have, because when these are gone, no more friends shall I have.
Nice, nice.
So, she always remembered this because she was from a rich family, and of course, ang daming lumalapit sa kanya, no, because of her wealth. But she understood that wealth is not something that I'll always have. So she was very picky with her friends. To her, the greatest prosperity was to have real friends who cared about her. Yeah. So, I hope that we'll hear also other ideas
Actually,
on
meron
prosperity, no?
kasi yung iba, kahit pag pumipili ng ninong at ninang, yung pinipili nila yung may mayaman.
O may pangalan.
May ibibigay sa
may
Pasko
ibibigay sa Pasko,
at sa
yung mga
birthday.
ginaldo, which is siguro nabawasan din yung pagbisita sa mga ninong-ninang this year, no?
Yes.
Kasi because of COVID.
Medyo nadalian yung mga nagtatago na ninong and ninang.
Hindi na
Oh, I don't have internet. Sira yung aking signal.
So, basically speaking, pati kasi dapat sa yung ninong-ninang ang pinipili, originally the concept was yung who can give spiritual advice,
Guidance.
guidance. Yung
Kaya
parang
godmother,
oo,
godfather.
hindi
Yes,
ba
that
ganon?
is traditionally what it is,
Oo.
di ba? When you may kumpare ka o kumadre ka, ibig sabihin nun, if something happens to your family,
Yes, may mag-aalaga sa anak.
Yes.
Oo. Oh,
This is
here's a
something
very
that's there.
nice feedback from Bo Bismarck. Sabi niya, ba't nawala? Pagmamahal sa Diyos ang kayamanan ko. Very
Wow,
nice.
Nice.
and then
Oo.
with Myra
Thank you for
Muriel,
that. Oh, Myra also. Yeah.
true wealth cannot be spent. Having a relationship with God is the goal we must strive to attain. We are truly rich when God is in our life.
Beautiful. Thank you for that.
Tama. Yes.
Alam niyo, this is something that we have to be introspective of. The fact that even our life, yung buhay ng tao, what,
Life itself is
yes,
is a form of wealth.
it's the
Yes.
best gift that we can ever have, the
Yes.
human form of life. Because it is this form of life where caring, loving, devotion, this is so felt by us. And it is our decision. It is the type of decision we make out of, how do we want to live our life. This show is known as Gopalakas. Well, we were known to as the Live Wise group, living wise. So we have to have wisdom in our heart, in our mind, to be able to live
Yeah.
a life that is fulfilling. And this can be shared to everybody, too. And those who live in this way, forward-looking, they don't create problems for others. They don't create problems for themselves. They make sure that the world is a better place with their presence too. Diba? So they will contribute. This is where real prosperity would come.
Yes. Oh, and here's another one from Har.
Yes, from Canada
My-
yata siya. Yes.
My faith in God is more important than anything what we have. Sharing God's love to everyone makes me happy every day and make me contented and have a purpose in my life. Thank you for the elders for sharing God to me and my family. Very nice.
Very nice.
Alam mo-
I really like that what Myra said, true wealth cannot be spent. Kasi we think, I need wealth, I need to spend it on this, on that. Ang dami nating listahan, But really,
At saka nauubos yun. Pag
Oo
pera
nga.
nauubos, hindi ba
true
nawawala
wealth,
yan?
hindi na
Oo.
uubos talaga.
The world we live in is actually very wealthy. It was created that way. It's God's gift to everyone.
The natural resources.
The natural
no?
resources
Oo.
are there. The ocean is there. The clean air is there. Looking at all in a different perspective, you will find, there's so much wealth in the world. Unfortunately, when we become self-serving and we start to own up to it, di ba? That's where things become more difficult. That's when the struggle for such resources becomes apparent in our lives. But
Kaya nga nagkakagera rin
Yes.
fighting for the resources.
it's
hindi
all
ba?
about
Oo.
resources because the more resources you have,
The more wealthy you are.
the more wealthy you
Yeah.
have. The more wealth you have, di ba? So that's why even now, we're sitting here, we're maybe we will share to the audience, we're just outside in front of us is the West Philippine Sea, or
Yeah,
which
we
is
have a
known
nice
as
breeze coming
China
in.
Sea, di ba?
Beautiful
Ngayon,
view.
sinasabi natin, West Philippine Sea. Sa kabila naman,
China
Sea
Sea.
naman ito. Di ba?
Agaw.
We're fighting for resources. That's what it is. No, we will need it. Whether you like it or not, we have the power
Ayun.
to take it away from you. But on the end of the day, just as many dynasties that come and go in this world, nothing in this world is forever.
Even the very leaders who are going to fight for
Over
that,
it now.
they will leave it all behind. And it will go to somebody else.
Yes.
Hindi ba?
Oh, speaking of somebody else, we have another contribution here from our audience. Ang sarap pala mag-ask questions, no? So sabi ni Yogi, is that how you say it?
Yes.
Yogi Padilla, para sa aming pamilya, ang prosperity ay ang pagkatuklas sa kaalaman ng aming sariling identity at ang turo ni Jesus Christ tungkol sa pagmamahal sa Diyos.
Yes.
Ay, maraming salamat.
Wisdom that you have gained, hindi ba spiritual knowledge?
Yes.
Kasi naman, kahit when you leave this body, kasama mo yung wisdom. That is
Oo.
something na hindi
mawawala.
mawawala.
No one can take that
Oo.
away from you.
Okay, I want to greet Rolly Pagaspas.
Oh,
Rolly. Hello,
Oh my
Rolly.
Merry
gosh.
Christmas and Happy New Year. Mag-ingat,
Yes.
Yes,
Our
stay
friend Rolly
well.
Pagaspas.
Take care.
Our good friend, Rolly.
Okay, so, yeah. That's why when you deal with the whole wealth issue, it's always like the world, there's enough resources, there's enough land
Correct. Oh,
for everyone
yes.
to live a life, you may say, prosperous, and full of wisdom and happiness. And if we embrace this wisdom in our lives, real prosperity come about in our life. And basically, like we were describing how, for example, if you look at the tree, the tree is such a humble living entity. Diba? Tatayo siya sa isang lugar for whatever duration of years yung buhay niya. Yung kanyang resiliency, tama?
Tolerance.
Tolerance, no matter how difficult the setting may be, either you're in the mountains or you're in the ocean, near the ocean front, yeah? You will tolerate the changes of time. But yet, every year, such a tree would try to show its splendor of blooming and giving us fruit.
Yeah.
And air,
And
and
air,
water, ang
and
dami.
water,
Kahit
and shade,
mahirap,
and
no?
so many. You know, we as human beings, we are gifted with the same potential. More than that, more than just what the tree is actually sharing amongst us in this world.
Yes. Okay, here's some more, yeah? We have plenty of...
From Matt.
Yes,
Sabi
okay,
niya,
okay.
in-echo niya yung sinabi ni Tito Toby, if God is the center of our lives, we can use everything wisely for the pleasure of God and good of all humanity. That is the secret of true health, wealth, and
And
happiness.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, and I'd like to greet Kylie Misa. Hi, Kylie! Merry Christmas to you also.
Si Ivy Villamor sabi, surviving 2020 with sanity intact is one of the best things that
Ay,
happened to
talaga,
us. The
talaga.
gift of life and good health, our wealth that we receive. For with these treasures, we are able to live another day, another opportunity to serve our dear Lord.
Wonderful. That's really
mga
timely,
nakikinig
ha,
sa atin sa
Ivy?
Gopalakas, mukhang they have been meditating and praying
Nice.
this past.
Oo.
Maraming-
Pero truly, ha,
maraming
the
wise
sanity
people.
is a very
Maraming wise
important
people. Oo.
wealth. Oo.
Oo. And to appreciate the next day, the
Yes.
extension of our lives, you know, to be
Exactly.
able to serve and know more about God and serve others. This is really a gift.
Yes,
Diba? The
oo.
wealth rin yan, prosperity rin yan.
And look, you have another answer from Katrino Resurrection.
Kapag
Walang-wala.
kapag walang
Walang-wala.
karangyaan sa buhay, naghahangad-hangad tayo ng kayamanan. Ngunit bakit po kapag nakamit na ay di na rin satisfied at lalo pang nakakalimutan ang pag-alala sa Diyos at kapwa. Okay.
Question pala to.
Well,
Question.
basically speaking, hindi ba, people are always wanting, may desire nga, hankering, gusto pa, sige, dagdagan natin. Sometimes they lose the plot, kumbaga
Oo
yung
nga.
wala ng oras sa pamilya, wala ng oras magdasal, wala ng oras para mag-spiritual activities.
Tsaka yun nga yung sinasabi ko kanina, na you're not looking at it from the right perspective. Iisip kasi
yes.
natin, ito akin. You know, ako ang mag-enjoy nito. Hindi naman yan talaga ang correct na perspective.
So they're not satisfied, and then at the same time, more stressed pa, more
Yes.
empty. Kasi
It
sama
is-
ng feeling, di
It
ba?
is totally,
mali-mali yung
it is totally opposite
tansya.
on what we were designed to be.
Yes.
Diba? We're designed to be of service. You know, if we render service to others with the goodness of our heart, basically,
Then you're paid back so much more than you
Yes.
can count or put in the bank.
it changes the dynamics in your life. Kasi yung ganyan na uring buhay, has a profound effect in your how you see things.
Yes,
Right.
it
What your
changes
struggles
you
would be, or
profoundly,
how struggles can be opportunities.
Yes, opportunities.
Diba?
Oo.
You know, like, you know, when
Challenges,
yes, when challenges come around.
oo.
But you know, you introspect in the life of Jesus, for example. Sometimes many of us always think on the later part of his life when he was being put through a difficulty. But yet, he didn't have any anger in his heart.
No.
Yeah.
He even forgave those who were putting him through what he was going through.
Yeah. And even ask God to please forgive
Yes.
them.
Yeah. He was asking forgiveness that this, you know, similarly, iniba, yung the question that was being asked by Katrino, had a similar parallel story to it. Kaya ang tao, kapag tumanaw ka sa maling direksyon, you know, everything becomes a struggle for you.
You have to have the right viewpoint talaga.
Kahit you have enough naman to survive,
Right.
even more than enough,
Yes.
I mean,
struggle
look at
pa
this,
rin,
this
di ba?
pandemic.
Oo.
For example, we always think, yeah, it's gonna, siyempre, we
want
we
it to
empathize
end,
for those
oo.
who have somebody they loved who died, no? Siyempre, malungkot yan eh. But yet, we are not in control, but you can see that majority of us are going through this whole pace and surviving. You know, we just need to have a change of perspective in what we need to do. Safety first is very important. safety and health. Being healthy is very important. These are, but syempre we have loved ones who are much older who had issues with their health already. Sila yung major risk. May high risk sila. But yet, no matter what, we try to make the best of what we have.
Yes. Okay, can I take a break and just say Merry Christmas to Mary Salazar, Emmy Perez Villamor,
Janet
Janet
Our friend Janet.
yes, Ananda Teves also,
Yes.
Emmy Perez Villamor,
Yes.
Kalindi Rolova, Kalindi!
Si Mike, meron din siyang comment. O yan.
Alright.
Mike says that para sa amin, prosperity is not about getting wealthy, rich from outside, but cultivating wealth from the inside. Loving God, helping people, and appreciating the gift that we receive from the Lord daily. Thank you for so much, Gopalakas, for your wonderful insights every week. More power.
Another thing connected
Thank
to
you,
it from
Mike.
Cynthia of Marigaf.
Okay.
Wealth for me is living simply with nature and sharing the wisdom of God to others in different ways. Right now through social media, like sharing Gopalakas to my friends. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
For those who don't know Cynthia, she has a farm. She really lives very simply, and she's always sharing her blessings are to those around her.
Yes.
She's
Thank
a
you,
healer too.
Cynthia.
She helps others, so
Yeah.
much with her.
Yeah, she's also an acupuncturist
Yes,
kasi.
okay.
oo.
So,
Ang dami parang wealthy people sa Pilipinas,
Oo
no?
nga.
Kasi
It's
siguro
very nice.
mali lang, hindi sila yung na-survey. Kasi yung mga na-survey na tao, sabi nila they felt poorer this year or this
Wrong
time.
perspective.
Wrong people to. Oo nga, wrong perspective. Dapat nakinig muna sila sa Gopalakas show natin.
Let's invite
Bago,
them all.
oo.
Oh, and there's
yeah, there are
there's
many-
one. You can read this one from Ananda.
there are many
Yeah.
there are many settings in sa buhay natin that, like I'm saying, if you hanker, right, for whatever that you desire for, that very hankering is the one that's causing you the very misery.
Anxiety. Anxiety yung hankering. No, just
Yeah, gusto mo niyan, hindi ako nakakuha ng ganitong regalo ngayon, or kinulang kami, hindi kami sometimes you kind of,
We have to learn to be thankful for what we have.
Yes,
We
yes.
appreciate.
the human life is a life to be always thankful for. Whatever comes your way is an opportunity.
Start
It's a
our
gift.
day with gratitude.
Yeah.
It's the way to go.
Ang message naman ni Ananda, I've seen people na they have so much money, it's unlimited in that sense, but I noticed that they become obsessed with that money and they buy things which are not really needed and they just want to spend. And I thought money could make people crazy without the realization of what the goal of life is. I see having money or facilities cannot really make one happy. The true stories yan, hindi ba? Sometimes showbiz people sa Hollywood, mga mayayaman, daming kotse, daming followers and everything, but makikita mo illegal drugs sila, or they become alcoholics,
Yes.
or they become depressed, or they commit suicide pa nga yung iba.
There's-
So, and yet, people, naiinggit sila, gusto rin nila maging ganon. Not knowing na yung ina-idolize nila, gusto nila maging ganon, ay miserable pala.
Yes.
Hindi ba?
Yeah, nagugulat yung fans, biglang nagpamatay yung kanilang idol.
Oo. So, yung concept nga ng perception of wealth,
Yes.
that is what we have to have a real, true idea of what real wealth is. Kasi that should make us happy.
Yes.
Hindi ba? What kind of wealth will make us happy? Yun naman ang importante.
Or when you're gifted with something, you see it, or you're given something, or suddenly something that, alam niyo sa buhay ng tao, minsan suddenly there's something that you have never worked for.
Yeah.
It's given to you. I mean, even children who are born in wealthy families or gifted with so many potentials and qualifications and qualities. Okay, they're gifted from the time they were born. Diba?
Oo.
So, these are all, kumbaga, if we start to make judgments, measurements, that's when o ba't yung kapitbahay ko ganito karaming na harvest? Ba't kami, pareho naman yung season, pareho naman yung kalupaan ng lugar namin. Ba't siya mas marami? Alam mo, minsan, ito, when I,
Mga
because I'm a farmer, we grow our own rice, we grow most of our own food. Our neighbors are always sometimes would say, ay, buti pa si Sir. Kung sino na yung may kaya, siya pa yung maraming nabibiyayaan dahil ang ganda palagi ng ani nila. Alam niyo, sa totoo lang, I made sure my neighbors also get the seeds. Sometimes kasi sinasabi ko na lang, be quiet na lang. Huwag niyo na lang sabihin na umani tayo na bumper crop kasi all these years, tinitingnan nila, bakit? Si Sir, di naman talaga siya magsasaka eh. Ba't tayo yung magsasaka?
Sometimes we should not anymore compare kasi.
Ano ba yung secret? Bakit mas marami yung harvest mo?
Siyempre, unang-una,
Alaga namin yung lupa.
Organic.
hindi lang yun, tatanawin mo na there's in life, may mga pakay na that will be your guiding principles. Even when you're farming, we're working with nature, you always have nature in mind. That, without nature, working with nature, these are the natural systems given to us to make use of. Diba? But not to destroy.
Yeah, we work in harmony with
Not to
nature.
destroy yan. Huwag niyong sisirain, huwag niyong gigibain. So you will, I go back to, instead of hybrid seeds, native seeds. Yung mga traditional na ganon. So now, on the long run, when things are changing in the environment, we find that having native, what has been originally given to you, and working with it. Appreciating what you have, and not trying to, ba't ang baba naman ang ani ko? Ba't naman ganyan? But that's the tendency kasi you're always looking at, kano karami na ba yung kinita ko? This is the idea of prosperity kasi gusto mo, bank account di ba? Or many things. But yet, like this morning before I came, here for the show, I was looking around the farm and trying to declutter things. Kumbaga, this I don't need. May naiwan na trabaho na hindi natapos. Yung mga ganun ba, you inspect things a bit. And you start to see that there's so many things that maybe I don't really need this, or I don't really need that. This is just too much already, And in life, decluttering your life is also very important because many of these things would weigh you down. And then you lose sight of what is more important.
Yes. Yeah, what's important is like Janet Paredes is telling us, hope to see you again when times are better. Love, peace, compassion for 2021. That's what we need.
Yes.
Love, peace,
Hindi
and
yung
compassion.
mga mainggit tayo sa kapitbahay natin, hindi ba? Tapos meron pa is that from Paay ba yun? Greeting from Leticia Aboy.
Oh, yes.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Paay. Mabuhay.
Merry Christmas,
Thank you.
Leticia. Thank you.
Actually, ang natin ngayon, if everybody had a real good perspective of things, talaga, kasi alam mo si Sir din, at sabihin ko, bakit siguro maganda yung harvest niya? Kasi he likes to share and to give and to, give to other people. Meron pong law of karma din yun Bumabalik din yun. So when you're giving, and especially not just asking for something in return, not just the law of karma, but just to really share, the blessings will also come to you, hindi ba?
It's not like we always think like that. We never think like that. It's something that's spontaneous and natural because in the first place, not everything, even if you see how much rice you may have harvested, and it's not your effort. You just gave so little. You recognize the fact that the air, the sun, the dirt, the water, you have to always look in the bigger picture so that you can always see that, there will be years I would have a lean harvest. There will be years, it's like
naman. Times of plenty.
even now, yung inequality sa buhay ng tao. For example, recently I was talking to one of my workers we take care of bees, Sir, mababa yung harvest natin ngayong taon. But sabi ko sa kanya, don't worry about it. Panapanahon lang yan. What's important is pangalagaan natin yung mga dapat natin alagaan. Yung bees, yung mga puno, all the different dynamics. Because in this situation, you're not only looking at your own at this very moment, you're forward looking all the time. Now, anything that you do with nature, anything that you do that has to do with the resources that we have, the natural resources, pag dyan, you step up with it, meaning you get involved with it, right? You're always looking at the future for others. You know, you're always looking at, okay, these trees, these bees, all of them have a role to play. I need to look after them very well. I need to do my part and make sure that many years from now, they will still be around. Diba?
Yes.
To make the world, to continue on
better
sustaining the
place,
balance
yeah.
of this world we live in. Resources are like that. We have to look at resource not only as yung mga dead resources, mining, lupa, di ba, ganyan yung mga elements. But,
Oil. That's
right.
what everybody's wanting.
all the other living entities that live in this world contribute to the betterment of this world.
Yeah, to the prosperity
Right.
of all.
Yeah.
Eh, yan ang resource yan. Tsaka because why? Pagkain. Tubig. Malinis na hangin.
All our needs.
All our needs.
Oo.
They all, mag-ambag-ambag lahat yan. Like, I think it was 2 nights ago, I was watching, I like to watch shows like, Nat Geo, yung mga ganon that has to do with environmental reports. They were saying that, they were mapping, showing a whole map of Indonesia. They were comparing 10 years ago to a particular place near the Sumatran forest,
Naku.
which is almost 1 million hectares.
Wow.
Was.
You know, 1 million hectares of forest siya.
Yeah.
Hindi ba naririnig natin this last 10 to 15 years yung nasusunog yung Sumatra?
Oo.
Di ba?
Maabot sa ibang country.
Singapore.
Nila.
Okay,
Oh, yung
maabot sa
smoke.
atin yun, sa Mindanao. So, they were showing this. And this was before. Ito yung itsura niya 15, 20 years ago. Ito na yung itsura niya 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Ano ang dating?
nakakatakot.
It's actually scary
Yeah.
to see it, to see what had happened. And they were comparing, now we're converting it into palm oil production and things like this.
Yeah.
And it's
So
becoming
bad
more.
for
Then they start to measure. They start to measure. Will this be sustainable? Would this make it so that the world will be a better place? And then when the economy starts to look at it, they go, wow, it is not the case.
Yeah.
On the end of the
We
day,
lose.
it not only makes those using palm oil unhealthy,
Yes.
Bad
it
for
will,
the
anything
health.
that will wipe out the environment is not good for you or me.
Yes.
Exactly. We're all part of that
So-
environment.
If we live by this universal guidance of codes and learn to see things in a bigger perspective, then definitely our struggles won't be there.
Yes.
We see everything as an opportunity and we contribute and we are always thankful for whatever comes our way.
Yeah.
And the thankfulness is enriched further by sharing it to others. And we start to live this way, our perspective of life will change totally.
I think that's what will bring real prosperity
Yes.
talaga.
Oo. Kasi kung yung sa situation na decision making on the palm oil, it's not wealth. You know, it's not wealth for the people, for the
the
world, the planet,
environment, oo.
no? It's a destructive force.
Yeah, oo.
And even when you have also mga power generating
Yes.
resource like coal
So many.
power
Yeah.
plants and
Mining, all
nuclear power plants, these are actually not for the good of everybody. So, we have to make real decisions and appreciate nga, sinasabi mo na talagang ito yung wealth na binibigay sa atin,
Yeah.
hindi ba?
We're given.
That's doing things
and
from
because
the right perspective.
we are
Yeah.
Perspective.
by nature transitory here,
Yeah.
right? So there has to be resources that will support those who come and go.
Yes.
You know?
Let's leave it better than when we
Right.
came. Oo.
So, looking at the new year, we should again be introspective on this. Simply, alam ninyo, the pandemic is still very much in our midst, right? There's a means to be protected from it for our family, members, our neighbors, our community, our leadership, you know. We, on the end of the day, there was another, again, I saw this in one of those environmental shows. What happened in Africa? The Ebola.
Oo. Oo.
And
Grabe yun.
they destroyed a whole lot of the forests. So that the viruses or whatever issues that lived in the animals that is present in the forest ended up going to the human settlements.
Oo, dati it was contained.
It was
no?
contained.
Tapos
So if we are having
napapawalan.
issues today, one has to understand this in the perspective of a conservationist. You have to make sure you, as a person, to stay healthy, keep nature around you as healthy, as balanced as possible.
Yes.
Because it is what is around you that will make you stronger to resist problems with your health. Ito yan eh. Yun ang sinasabi nila. Lahat ng mga
Good for
dalubhasa,
immune system.
sinasabi nila, this will help you. No, but if you live in a very, polluted yung air mo, polluted yung kapagkain mo, then definitely you will have to struggle with things like a pandemic coming your way.
Oo, this is not gonna be the last
So,
one.
alalahanin nyo, health is wealth. That's why I'm speaking about this.
Yes.
We have been given a form of life, and it is our responsibility to take good care of it. And to take good care of our own health and the health of our family involves so much. It just doesn't, sige.
Tsaka it needs our cooperation.
Yes,
Oo,
and it
tulungan.
needs learning to find the right balance and learning the limits of what I should use from the resources, and that whatever resource I use, I have to be able to give something back.
Yes.
And not just going towards yourself all the time. This is not living wisely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Real prosperity is you learn to live a balanced life, recognizing all different components of your existence and being thankful for what has been given you.
Yeah.
So kung titingnan natin, actually, Christmas comes before the New Year. Jesus Christ came to give us wisdom about what is real wealth, and that if we treasure that and practice that, yung instructions niya, love God, love your neighbor, then you will have a happy New Year.
Yes.
Okay? So tuloy-tuloy yung ating yan, may process tayo dyan, and that is what the secret to happiness is all about.
Peace. There will be peace in this world. Jesus Christ appeared in this world and showed us the way to live a peaceful life.
Yes.
Diba?
So before we go, we would like to greet our friends Miguel and kanina rin yung mga friends natin, si Angel Gonzalo, si Rupa Maluya, and
there's another, I forgot to greet, Harry Yumol from Ilocos Norte.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yes. Merry
Cap Harry.
Christmas, Harry.
Siya isang barangay captain.
I see.
In Ilocos Norte.
Yeah, we
in
knew
Cavite
him when he
City.
was still a student.
Yes. Rosalinda Lascano also is with us today.
Yes, Merry
Thank you
Christmas.
very much for joining us. We're very happy that you all have joined us this morning, and at the same time shared with us also wisdom that we are been able to share with everybody else.
Yeah, there's a lot of sharing today. Thank
Ma'am
you for being
Iris,
involved.
yeah. Oh,
Cesar Canonisado. I think he's also in California, I believe.
Oh,
Yes.
nice to hear from
Nice
you.
to hear from you.
so we have run out of time, but time is still there in our
Time is also
So,
a
our
form
wealth.
of prosperity. Yeah, use your time well.
Yes.
1 year is ending. We're starting a new one. We hope that we will use that next year very
Yeah,
wisely.
time and tide waits for no one.
Oh.
And we also always have to make sure that we use
That
our time wisely.
Wisely.
Yes.
Para hindi sayang yung mga wealth na dumadaan sa mga kamay natin. Yung mga
Maraming
wealth.
salamat sa inyo.
Yes, I hope you live wise.
we,
Happy New Year.
Happy New
we hope to
Year.
see you again in our next show. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Have a safe
Maraming
New
salamat.
Year.
Yes.
Bawal paputok.
Okay. Stay healthy and safe.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Do you know that even
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas.